Hey there, if you ever scroll to column AZ or whatsoever column and forgotten which row you were on, then this is the feature that fixes it for good. Let me show you with an example. Imagine you're having a similar data set with a lot of dense information. For instance, you're wanting to know the PE ratio of Coca-Cola. Traditionally, what we do is we keep the cursor on the relevant row, move across until we reach the PE column and align with it. Okay, 314.2, which is the PE. Okay, so this is the value. Let me now show you how CrossAim solves this problem statement. Activate CrossAim. Now let's solve the same example using CrossAim. I want to know the PE ratio of Coca-Cola, PE and Coca-Cola, 314.2. Quick. We are not stopping there. There's a lot more to it. Now let's get into the customization part. Go to the settings. This is the settings button. We have discussed this earlier in the last video. In that, go to CrossAim tab. You see a bunch of customization, and let me walk you through this one by one. First off is the mode. In the mode, you have three options: both bands, horizontal only and vertical only. Both bands is the default one that you've already seen. When I change it to horizontal only, it changes only to a horizontal band, and when I change it to the vertical only, it changes to a vertical only band. Next off is the band adjustments. Let me first change it to both. Okay, so you see a vertical band and a horizontal band, right? It is possible to change the size of these bands. You see the slider here? You can just slide across to increase or decrease the bands, and here again to increase or decrease the size of the vertical bands. And one more cool thing here is that you can also use the shortcut keys to change the band size. As I've mentioned here, Control plus Alt plus Shift plus up or down arrow to increase or decrease the horizontal band size, and left and right arrow to increase or decrease the vertical band size. Next off is the appearance tab. As the name says, color. Obviously you can change the color. I'm picking this color and adding it to my custom colors. You see, I have it here. The color is changed. When I say for this session, it means until you turn off your system or you quit the CrossAim through the system tree. Okay, yeah, that's it about the color. And next is the opacity scroller. You can adjust the opacity of the CrossAim bands. That is, you can slide in and slide out to change the brightness of this. You can also use a shortcut to do a similar change. The shortcut of that is Control Alt up and down arrow. Earlier we used Control Alt Shift to do the size adjustments. Here it is only Control and Alt. With that, the customization part is done. Before we get into the next feature, let's talk about two tiny accessibility features, which is the center dot and color cycle. Open your settings. You'll see something like this here, center dot. Toggle it on. It brings about a tiny dot at your interjunction cell. I hope this is visible. Some people prefer having this interjunction dot and some don't. So it is based on your preference to decide whether you want to have it or not. Next up is the color cycle. If you're a user who's wanting to change between the colors, instead of going into the setting and pick a color of your preference, you're wanting to change it instantly, then color cycle is something that's built for you. Press the shortcut key Control Alt W to toggle between the preset colors instantly. The next feature we are going to discuss is the angle rotator. Go to your pill bar. You'll see something like this. Rotate crosshair. Click this on. A tiny dialer opens up. Slide between the dialer. That will rotate the orientation of the crosshair, and you can also type in the dialer to set the angles. One real world use case of this angle rotator would be, imagine you're reading a document that has a tilted orientation. In such scenario, using a regular horizontal band won't help you to read this document, right? That is when you use the angle rotator. Go to the angle rotator, change the angle to align with the document. Next feature is the precision mode. Imagine you're working across multiple documents and it's very obvious each of the documents will have a different row header size and a column header size, and you can't keep adjusting the band size every single time, and that's why we have something called as precision mode. The precision mode converts the regular bands into 1 pixel line instantly. Hold on to Ctrl and Shift and you'll see the magic. Ctrl Shift. Our regular crosshair has now converted into a 1 pixel crosshair line. There's no more bands, it's just a 1 pixel line. This way you can easily navigate and pick up whatever value you're looking out for. And the moment you release the Ctrl and Shift, it shifts back to our usual crosshair. Cool, right? And the other way of accessing this precision mode is obviously through the pill bar. The button for that is this one. You see, precision mode. Next up is a core feature, snap lanes. Now this is a feature that yet again makes CrossAim different from anything else out there. So let's get started with the basics. Go to your pill bar. These are the ones that's pertaining to snap lane. First up is the snap V lane or the snap vertical lane. Click this button. A yellow tinted window appears on your screen indicating that you have entered the snap lane mode. Click on the place where you're wanting to snap the lane. The moment you click on it, a similar yellow band or yellow fixed line drops on your screen. Similarly, you have something called as snap horizontal lane, which does the same purpose but in a horizontal orientation. Just click on it, a horizontal fixed band appears. You can drop multiple lanes just like this. There's no limit for the number of lanes you can drop. And the third and fourth buttons are nothing but the third button indicates that you can remove one lane at once, and the fourth button indicates that you can remove all lanes at once. Now let us get into the customization part. Before we get started, let me draw a couple of lanes for a reference. Okay, now open the settings, go to your lanes subtab. You'll see a bunch of customization here. You can change the color of the lanes just like we discussed in the crosshair. You can also adjust the opacity of these lanes. Next is the naming. You need to click the refresh lane. Okay, you'll see the list of all active lanes and you can rename it here. By default it will be showing as V lane 1, which is the vertical lane 1, vertical lane 2 and horizontal lane 1 and so on. You can rename all these things. Say I'm renaming it as ABC for this. You see which one was it? Horizontal. Okay, yeah. So this has now been updated to ABC, and likewise you can keep individual names for each of the lanes under the lane naming here. Next up is the group lane settings. Before we get into this, there's something you need to know. The lanes are actually linked to the crosshair by default. What I mean by this is that every time when you update the band size of the crosshair, the size of lanes will also be updated in real time. That is, you can see here, right? When I change the size of the crosshair, the lanes are also getting updated. But is there a way to delink? Yes, and that's when we use the group lane styling. The moment you turn this on, the link is broken between the crosshair and the lanes. So now all lanes will follow the revised size that we are setting up here. And is there a way to adjust the size of the lanes individually? Yes, and that's when we use individual lane styling. The moment you turn this on, now each of the lanes can be adjusted here individually by using this Now nothing is linked. See, now so this is when you get the full customization option. That is, you can rename each of the lanes, you can adjust the size of each of the lanes, and you can change the color of each of the lanes. That's crosshair lanes and precision mode. One thing worth knowing is that these lanes don't carry over between the sessions. They reset each time you restart CrossAim. So the next video is regarding the OCR text extractor, which is genuinely one of the best things about this tool.